Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm playing Trather Wimlin, a human fighter.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be playing John Abermere, a Crimson-born human.
Peter, Bertrand Greystone, Dwarven Forge Cleric.
William R. Aarakocro Magi.
Daniel, I am playing Vatten. I am a half-elf ranger.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I am Twig, or Shem. I am a rogue bard and a Goliath.
We hope you enjoy our episode. Welcome back to City on the Hill Gaming. I'm your Game Master, Ryan. We're back for some more of the 5th edition Dungeons That was good.
Take 2.
Dungeons & Dragons, and all of the actual play fun. I am back with Peter, William, Jenny, Grant, Ben, and Daniel.
I'm proud of you for getting through that.
Did I get all 6?
Yeah.
I did that. I did that blind.
Did across the hangout window, or did you do that from memory?
It's half from memory, half from the Roll20 window.
Yeah, I was about to say it's also right along the bottom of the roll.
I think I got everybody. All right, let's go with it. So you guys had a lovely conversation with the fun floating man and his double orc. I'm gonna make that one word. Double orc. There's no E. And then he threw some giant rocks at you, and really just was not in the mood to talk anymore. There we go. That's right. So you guys have picked yourselves up, dusted yourselves off. You see them leaving in the distance, all 4 of them in their giant floating cart. And from behind you, you hear a sound. Sort of like a giant cat. Like
meowing at us?
Not exactly. Like when I say giant cat, I mean more like mountain lion or like lynx or something.
Oh,
okay.
Big cat. Giant was the wrong word. Sorry. Not like not giant size category cat. Big cat.
Okay.
When you turn around, you see a gentleman making his way to you, kind of dodging back and forth between some rocks. Daniel, I literally face palmed. So thank you for that. That's good. So Peter spelled double orc, and then Daniel wrote double orc. The orcish, Deblork, right?
As in the balloon.
Right, the orcish gold coin. Oh no.
Is it Deblork?
I was trying to go with like a doublet pun because like doublet as in the
puffy thing around the neck.
No, that's not a doublet. Doublet's a coat, like a jacket.
Oh. I thought that was the neck brace looking thing in
Nah.
Shakespeare.
Oh.
Well,
and Peter, your first spelling is correct. It's just without the E. No,
I know,
no
but
puns. Stop that.
But I have a habit of spelling things awfully in our hangout chat, so.
And I enjoy it greatly. I need to make a list of those later. Okay, so the man approaches you, and next to him is a rather large, sort of D&D beast equivalent of a lynx, like bigger than a lynx, furrier than a lynx, but it's like a big lynx. I'm not going to say
pretty dang big.
Yeah, well, and I'm not going to say lynx repeatedly anymore because it's starting to not sound like a thing. He looks a lot of you over.
Bertrand will gently nudge John and be like, "Cat,
Kitty."
Yes.
Which
I think Peter nudges Jenny because John doesn't actually have that much experience with cats.
But
Bertrand doesn't know or perhaps care.
Lynx is there. It is okay.
Yeah, it helps you find routes through the desert, so it's some sort of Lynxus router.
Oh no! Oh no, that's so terrible. Okay,
That one kind of hurt, actually.
Where's the t-shirt list? There's a t-shirt list around here somewhere. Okay, which one of you is Trather?
Vatten just points.
Yeah, I was just gonna say John points backwards.
That guy.
Hi. Well, actually, suppose I'm looking for all of you. Brennar sent me. Needs to see you.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, very well.
Yeah, he told me to come find you.
Doesn't seem like we're getting anywhere with this anyway, so
No,
let's
I
head
suppose
back
not.
We should probably go. That cannot have been easy to find us.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Trather, when we get back, this whole thing isn't sitting well with me. I wanted to maybe brainstorm with you especially, but he does kind of like the little like put your finger up in the air and do like a wide circle over your head thing. All of you about maybe some other ways that we can solve this air elemental problem.
Yeah,
Mm.
this approach did not work.
No.
But we can come back to this.
Yes.
You get a raised eyebrow from the half elf. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah.
Bertrand pours more sand out of his helmet.
Sure,
It's been
like
a
you do.
long day.
He nods when you pour the. Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So go find him. He needs to talk to y'all.
All right.
And he heads off.
Are you? Excuse me. Are you headed back to Brennar's?
No, actually,
Ah,
another job.
I'll glance over at our party ranger. Do you know the way back?
Yeah, more or less. I know the fastest way out of the desert, and then we can find our waypoint from there.
So as you guys turn
As good a process as any.
you guys turn and head out of the desert, he heads in. Not following that group. Like he heads
Okay.
in. They kind of wander the exterior edges.
He's going towards the middle.
He's going towards the middle. Sort middle-ish, east, like southeasterish. Because I like saying words like that. He kind of seems to be heading in. He looked Daniel Thatton's pretty sure he's geared for a week or two. Maybe not quite that long, but he looks like he's ready to go deserting.
I hope he knows what he's doing. Looks pretty well set, I think.
The Lynxus, excuse me, Lynxus.
It's canon now. He said it.
I did.
I hate this
I
so
accept
much.
it. I don't love it either. Walks past Bertrand, rubs up against you, purrs, ish.
Oh, hello.
Big kitty
Scratch
purr.
behind his big kitty ears.
And then follows the half elf into the desert. Okay, so you guys, I assume, head back to Brennar.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so when you guys get back into Myosin, you get back to his shop, and you notice a couple things. There are some carts overturned in the street. The sign that says Harvest on it, forgot the name, is like hanging loose, and the door is broken.
Oh boy. Okay. Any signs of anybody around or?
You hear people inside, but it sounds like Brennar and Saley and Bastion.
Okay.
You don't hear anybody else.
All right.
Does this look like recent or?
Last day or two.
Okay, so not like minutes.
No.
Okay.
So they hear the commotion outside, and Saley peeks her head up. Oh, good. He found you. You're back. Come in.
What happened here?
Orcs. I'll let Brennar explain.
Yeah.
And she looks at Trather. The girl's fine. No one was hurt. She's safe.
Oh, excellent.
When you guys walk in, Brennar looks at you. Aye. Well, good. So, I hope you had a fun trip. When you guys get in, the place looks a little overturned, like somebody kind of ransacked the inside. Like the plants are kind of disheveled. The bird's like picking stuff up and setting it back up on the shelves. Bastion appears to be cleaning stuff up. To be honest, not 100%. The orcs came in with a Kinku fella, stamped a note onto the desk, shoved a knife into it, knocked a bunch of stuff over, and left.
Do you know if anything's missing yet? Have you found that out yet?
No, nothing's gone. And nothing important's broken. Just, rowdiness and disheveling, as it were.
May we look at the note?
Aye, absolutely.
And do you mind if I take a look around while you do?
Yeah, go for it. And
Alright,
anyone who wants to perception, investigation,
Yeah,
etc.
I was strictly just going to do investigation.
Roll
to
those
see if
dice.
there's Any clues? Let's search for clues, gang.
Yeah.
Natural one.
That a boy. All the clues. So many clues. There's footprints. There's big blue dog prints for some reason. Don't worry about it. probably
Ooh, and
fine.
Ben
That's
with
an
another
investigation,
natural
not
one.
A very medium roll on
No.
my end.
Oh, sweet mercy. Okay, well, good. William, and Ben probably got you covered. Shim and R. I mean, yes, it is very clear that this is Orcish. You kind of don't see anything super distinct except R and Shim. You both find different things. R finds footprints. You're looking at maybe a half dozen orcs, like one kinku, and a kind of dirt you don't see in this area. Kind of like they traveled a distance to get to Myosin to do this. Then, what Shim finds is fur.
Ooh.
Orange and white fur.
Orange and white fur.
Anyone can make me nature or survival. Jenny, you can do it with advantage,
Oh.
as this is regionally specific to your character.
Ooh, that was nature or survival.
Nature or survival. I will take either.
Neither of those.
That's a 10.
That's a solid 10. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That's
okay.
mean.
William's read some pamphlets recently, and and
Boy, do I know dirt.
boy, do you know dirt and or fur?
Would animal handling apply?
Sure, no.
Okay.
Interesting, but no. I like that. I like that a lot. Survival is
That's an
also
19.
fine. All right. Okay, so Grant, and let's go with Grant. You know that dirt is from a region of Anwaru you came through when you first came to the region. It's very much to the... So you guys are currently to the east of the mountains, sort of near the ocean. This is to the west of the mountains, sort of like when you guys originally came into the region and went and rescued the Duchess' son and his wife from the orcs and the Kinku. More like that part of Anwaru. Maybe even like a little further west than that. Not so much this area. Like you're thinking this is like a several days journey. R and Van. The fur. William R recognizes this as something that would come from maybe some kind of beast-like creature, but maybe you know from your studies there are beast-like creatures that have sort of nomadic tribes.
More social.
Yeah, more social, more like Tabaxi or Aarakocra are like civilization building beast type creatures. Daniel Vatten knows that long ago, not that long ago, like you probably have heard stories of a tribe of wandering beast-like cat creatures that sort of live in a region of Anwaru, kind of travel around, sort of think Mongolian nomads, kind of wandering the desert, setting up camp here and there. Somewhat primitive, very much keeping to themselves. You think this fur might be somewhat related to that kind of thing. So what Brynnar shows you is kind of there's like a dagger shoved through it, and it's just kind of stuck in the table with sort of black claw marks on it, like drawn on it. When you open it, it's addressed to all of you, not by name expressly, but you get the gist very quickly that whoever wrote it is talking to you, and it says, "Gonna be honest, you folks seem to be really good at causing me issues. I'd like that to end. So, in the interest of moving this process along, I've visited Brynnar, left this note, and a gift. I hope you enjoy. We both know she's the real issue for both our groups." And it's signed The Crow, who you guys know is the leader of the Mantle of the Crow, sort of one of the two large orc contingencies in Anwaru. The other being the followers of the Hawk. You guys have had actually, despite what one might be led to believe, you guys have actually had, or what you probably have been told, you've had rather pleasant encounters with the Hawk and her people.
Yeah.
Not knowingly necessarily, but... And that was sort of like the reason Duchess Kaya kind of sent you to this part of Anwaru, was to sort of dig into the Hawk and see what she was really about. And she's surprisingly kind of not been what you expected, though the Crow seems to indicate otherwise. And what he has attached there, next to that, is a map. So it's a map similar to the one you guys have. In the middle, there's a mountain range. So where you guys are in Onwaru, there is a sort of large mountain range in the middle. And there's a big X marked on that mountain range that's not marked on your map. And it just has under it the word hawk.
This one here?
Yeah. Absolutely. Here, sort of in the middle of that mountain range, there's a city, and it looks like it's intentionally, the X is sort of marked, not kind of just like randomly. It's placed specifically on one mountain partway up. And it seems to indicate the presence of a city. And the name written under it is Osterion. Jenny, you've heard the word before. It is a word John would have heard for most of his life. It's a reference to sort of mythical, in a sense, city in the cliffs, set up like in the side of the mountains, that people have a hard time finding, hard time getting to. And it is believed by some to have been the original home of a tribe of nomadic, or one of the homes of a tribe of nomadic cat people. But they abandoned it long ago, and the orcs took it.
Okay. So, like, per John's knowledge, he's not even sure it's real, kind of thing?
Like, you're fairly certain there's something in the mountains. Like, it's fairly well known there's something. It's just not so much to, like, what extent it's actually there. Or how big it is, or if it's everything. It's like, people talk, like if you guys have seen pictures, I'm going to get the tribal name wrong. My knowledge of Johnny Quest is going to fail me.
Uh-oh.
Is it Anasazi? It's like
Anansi?
It's a North American, Native American tribe from the Southwest that built up into the cliffs. Like, it's literally, like, you can still go to these places now and see these cliffs where the entire cliff face is just full of holes. And if you get up in there, there's staircases and there's ladders, and it's basically, it's like borderline unassailable. And that was sort of their point. Is it Anasazi? Okay, yeah. So think that would be the best point of reference I can make to what you have been told about as when John was younger. So Brennar gives you that, and then just kind of looks at you. So, yeah. Look, I know, I've known Hawk for a while. Good lady. I've also known the Crow's people for a while. Not my favorites, if I'm being honest. But, I mean, do with that information what you will.
Do you think he's working independently of her?
He has been working independently of her for a long time. Whoever Crow is, no one's expressly sure, to be honest, has sort of been a thorn in her side for some time now. The two butt heads, no one presses the issue on either side. It makes things interesting around here. I don't know that I have a recommendation for you in terms of what you want to do. I do know where he is. The lad that came and found you, Ruach. Half-elf boy. I sent him to follow the orcs when they left. And they're out to the west of the mountains. Some old camp, nomadic thing. So he's out there somewhere. And then I sent the lad to find you afterwards. Place called Greven. Not sure what you want to do. I don't know how much you're able to sort out for the whole air elemental thing, or what you want to do next. Obviously, we're fine. No one got hurt. That's all that really matters.
We figured out that the air elementals seem to be some kind of like a byproduct of what the Wanderers are doing out there.
His eyes
but they're not interested in talking about it.
His eyes get real big when you say the Wanderers. Did you? Oh, well, you did have a more eventful trip, didn't you, boy?
Bertrand shakes a little more sand out of his helmet.
Aye. All right, well.
Bertrand, kind of has one of those non sequitur ideas and looks straight at Our. Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know that prestidigitation trick, would you?
That should be on your...
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be on your spell list, William.
He, hands you his helmet. He's like, would you please clean the last of the sand out of this?
There's so much, and it's a cantrip, so it doesn't matter. There's so much sand, he has to do it twice. Which doesn't make sense, but just it's fine.
It only can clean a square foot per cast.
Yes.
So.
And your helmet is apparently, when it comes to sand, somewhat infinite, it seems.
Let's say, how many cubic feet of sand are lodged in it?
Yes.
It's looking like this is taking this plot is taking a grittier
there
turn.
It is.
Is it chafing you, Jenny?
Oh no.
Anyway.
All right.
For the folks counting at home, we got there.
Let's make sure the jokes don't get too coarse.
There it was. I knew he wasn't going to be serious with whatever he said. You just kind of have to go with it.
I will say it's abrading my patience.
Yep,
a bit.
there it was.
Sandpaper. Okay, I think we're done.
Erosion. Okay.
Right, there we go. You guys are in where it says Meissen. That's where you guys are currently. So where you would be looking would be sort of almost directly west of the mountain range.
And that's Grevin.
Yes. It's not even so much a city as it just is sort of just like west of that, and it's sort of like a loose, like, think like somewhere you stay for like a couple of weeks to months, where like you forage what's there and then you move on, and it's like giant yurts and tents and stuff. Very like I said, very Mongolian in a sense. You guys sort of have two different things, and I'm not going to push you one way or the other. If you want to go deal with the orc thing, or if you want to try and dig in to the air elemental thing. And when you kind of, Peter, when Bertrand brings that up, you can see the wheels turning for both Saley and Bastion. You think there definitely might be something you can brainstorm that would get you there. Brynnar also brings up another name. If you're looking for something to help the orcs to the south with the air elemental issue, I know a lad lives in a tower back near Varen. Jenny John should recognize this immediately. Lad's name is Rodden. He's an inventor of sorts. Might be able to help you. So that is the you haven't seen Radden in a while, but he's very good at making seemingly unusual things to help with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was super nonsensical, but I'm going to go with it.
All right, so my vote is that we try and help the orcs to the south with this air elemental problem, because at some point, if they keep coming in pairs like that, somebody's going to get hurt.
I agree. I think the air elementals are a much more pressing issue.
I definitely
Also-
want to follow up with this note, but
I do too, but it should be noted we're also here. Like,
yeah, I mean, you make a great point. We're much closer to this, issue than we would be to the map. So
True.
Well, yes, but obviously I don't trust the crow, and I have no inclination to follow whatever breadcrumb trail he's leading. But if the nomadic group that we would be following to Grevin, if they were going to anticipate, I don't know, somebody following them, they would definitely anticipate it coming from Meissen, and they would not anticipate it coming up from the south.
the other thing is too, is if we go off and we take some time to deal with this other problem, if they're sitting around waiting for us to come through some area that they've picked out, they're going to get real bored and probably give up while we're solving the other problem.
Or make them waste their resources. They're nomadic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to do that too.
Yeah.
I should stop you and clarify this, and this may be something I didn't explain well. Grevin is the home of a nomadic tribe of those beast creatures. They, when Ruach followed the orcs, he followed them back to there, but not expressly, like, he didn't see any of the nomadic cat people. He only saw orcs in Kinku. It's like they've kicked the nomadic tribe out of that area and taken it over for themselves, not like they're working with the nomadic tribe.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well,
I should clarify that the
Like
crow
what
has
happened with
the crow has nothing to do with like working with that nomadic tribe. He is like forcefully kicked them out of their area and taken over.
Okay.
That I should have explained more clearly. You also know, when you saved the Duchess' son and his wife, there was talk of you guys kind of worked your way into removing the prisoners because you were supposed to take them to a tower. Mm-hmm. That tower, you think, would be roughly where Grevin is. And it was a relatively new thing the orcs had just completed. This would have been in-game, I don't know, a couple weeks. If you want to go the air elemental direction, that's totally fine. I realized I should have clarified the the
Yeah,
nomad
well,
thing.
that's helpful
more.
because you don't have to worry about them like doing their nomadic thing and moving.
Yeah. No, that's not going to happen.
All right.
I still have a little bit of an objection to letting these people like show up, mess with the place, stick a knife in the counter, and think that they can just boss us around.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna follow whatever trail they're leading, but I will chase
Yeah.
after them. So no, I'm not going to pick up whatever bait they're leading because the last thing we want is to run into a place without all of the right ideas and cause trouble where we shouldn't.
Yeah. On the other hand, I think we have a pretty good grasp of what's going on with the orcs to the south, and we're in a position to help them in relatively short order. So,
Yeah.
should we focus our efforts there?
Yep. I say we start there and then approach Grevin from the south.
Bertrand kind of looks around at the rest of the group. John, Otter, Shem, anybody else have any thoughts on this?
I like doing the thing that they're not expecting. So going south and then going west, and then going north sounds like a good plan.
I tend to agree, although we need to be cautious as we move. There's a certain tone of impatience in this note, and we may find that these orcs push things a little more than we expect.
Okay, so Bernard looks a lot of you over. If you're going to go see Rodden, it'll take you 2 or 3 days to get there. And then from him, probably 2 or 3 days, maybe more, to get back to the south. So it wouldn't take you that long. South would put you 3 or 4 more days back up to where I think Grevin is. So keeps you in good proximity.
All right.
And I'm fairly confident he can help you with the elemental thing. If not Salient and Bastion. And Bastion, he set all the plans aside, and the birds kind of looks at him very frustrated, keeps chirping at him to get back to work. You can see he's clearly working through some thoughts and rifling through papers. And Saley is kind of has picked up, but is kind of doing her own thing. So Saley is a ranger, so she has kind of that nature background. You think Bastion's maybe taking more of a arcane stance on the issue?
Okay, well, I mean, we're right here. We might as well ask them what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So Bastion pulls a specific sheet of paper. I think we might be able to work with this. He hands it to Saley. She looks over it, takes a little, sort of almost like a pencil, out of her, from behind her ear, erases like 3 things. Bastion looks very confused. She writes like 3 things in its place, writes a 4th thing after it. He looks a little frustrated, but he's like, no, erases the 4th thing, writes 2 more things. They kind of go back and forth like this for like a minute, and then seem to have settled on something, and they set this paper in front of you, and it kind of, not in character, like a force field.
Okay.
I was very tempted to make a Star Wars, oh no, I can't remember the name of the movie. Oh, I feel like such a bad nerd right now. The Phantom Menace, there we go. Like a Phantom Menace, like giant lumbering dinosaur with a shield generator on its back reference, but that doesn't really work here. So it kind of almost looks like a magical force field that would, and you're not really sure where Bastion found plans for this, like why he just has something like that lying around. But it's probably okay. It looks like it would create some kind of force field or barrier that would at least protect the encampment from the heavy winds and the giant shards, were those to become more of an issue. And Saley hands it to you. I don't know what Radden will do with this, but I'm sure he'll do something with it that'll work. I've seen him do more with weirder, if that helps.
All right.
He's a smart guy. He can figure it out.
And so yeah, that's kind of what they give you. Bastion looks used. It was originally created to, in a much smaller sense, to protect our crops from the elements. Never used it,
Interesting.
but we didn't take it to Radin in the first place. So maybe he could be of more help. So yeah, they hand you that paper. Ginny,
Yes.
or William, or anyone else for that matter who wants to make an Arcana check or a Nature check.
But
There
that's
we
my
go.
second. That's my second natural one.
But that's William's
Wow,
first
you're
natural
rolling
20.
awesome tonight, guys.
Nice.
I rolled a 2 and got a 3. Yay.
Once again, R pulling the team.
Yep. I'd say you'd roll again with advantage because of the magic item, but it's already a natural 20, so that's fine. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go with that. Or Ben, I assume Trather is not going to roll, but
No,
Ben, if
there's-
Shim would like to.
There's no reason I can justify that.
Yeah.
You're actually oddly familiar, like really familiar with the magic and the sort of natural elements at work here. You actually do erase like 2 numbers off the sheet and write new ones, and Bastion's like, yeah, yep, there you go, yep, that's it, that's what, yep, So what you're sort of looking at, yeah, is some kind of like an orb or something grown to this giant like half shell. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comments saved for later, please. And
Okay, but I'm gonna hold you to it.
that's okay. I can live with that. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't make you any promises. Where? So this seems sound and actually oddly viable. It won't stop the elementals, but it'll protect the people inside the city from the elementals doing too much damage.
I mean, that's better than nothing.
And I think if it slows them down, it will, because the teams they had there were pretty good at fighting off an element. Like they could handle a full air elemental on its own. So just being able to contain
Willingly,
the
for what it's
being
worth.
able to contain the damage means that they could probably rebuff
Yeah.
the rest of the attacks pretty easily.
And you think R is fairly certain, looking at this, that this is the kind of thing that would like not just like 2 elementals, like could repel the issues of like groups of elementals if made correctly. So you have blueprints-ish. Lots of math. See all the stuff Grant said earlier about fractals.
Bertrand is gonna kind of grin because he realizes that this is a big construction project, and he likes to make things. So
Accurate.
Oh yeah, everyone else is gonna be completely, totally helpful with this, except me, who's like, I know about sticks. And rock.
You might give it some time. You might be surprised.
yeah,
Okay, so what do?
Let's go right on up to let's go to Radin's place.
He lives at a place called the Tower of Verstal.
Verstal, yes.
Okay, so you guys, it'll take you a couple days. Brennar sets you up with supplies and a cart and stuff. You guys rest for the night, leave the next day. Unless you have anything you want to do in town before you go.
Who's up for helping fix this place up?
Yeah, I was.
Bertrand
gonna
raises
say
his
let's-
hand and smiles.
Certainly.
I
figured
can
we'd have
cast
at
the
least
ending
one.
so many times.
Give me just a few moments to get out of my armor.
Step 1, do it on the sign. Because everyone
Does the
needs a
quick
nice
release armor?
sign.
Does he just like push a button on his wrist and then just like step back out of it, and the armor's still standing there?
Like Iron Man
Quick release
style. Yeah.
armor. The
Like-
problem
like-
with quick release armor is that it breaks too many of the leather straps.
That's
Take
true.
it off carefully, and you don't have to fix them later.
Accurate.
Ah, okay.
You don't have to have melee fix them later.
What? I mean,
Or Bertrand, for that matter.
But
I
you have
know.
mending, so just get back
Listen,
in and mend.
Melee's learning very quickly. I wouldn't. Let's just say that she needs supervision with something as complex as armor fitting at this point. Doing well, learning a lot, but it's a difficult task.
okay, so you guys spend the night, and then head northwest. There we go. Towards where John has been before, to visit the most curious Radin. And you arrive.
While we're doing this, I want to be like on the travel days. I want to be working with the finer points of the shield.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's a process, but eventually you will get.
Right. That's why I just want to spend any free time doing so.
Absolutely, not a problem. And I would.
Bertrand will probably try and go over some of like Mealy's prayer book with her and stuff too. He'll kind of compare with the text that he carries around and see what she's got. So might share a few favorite passages or something.
I suspect it will quickly devolve into comparative theology.
Ooh.
I mean, Bertrand's up for that too, so...
Oh, I'm sure Mealy is as well. Trather's eyes will rapidly glaze over.
I mean, Vatten's always been more a fan of natural revelation, so just being out in the stars and observing nature, and that's his jam.
Okay, so you guys pass the time. There was a pun there. I'm not sure what it was, but I could tell by his tone there was a pun there.
Eschatology.
Oh no.
They're like deep into Karl Barth by the time they get to where they're going.
Oh no. She started a second notebook of notes.
Yeah, it's like, and so Augustine says that.
Okay, so you guys arrive at what is a rather large tower that's just sort of in the middle of a field. There's nothing within a day's or so's walk of this tower.
What's the tower look like, since this is the first time we've been here?
So 3 or 4 stories, stone. Okay, so Skyrim, when you fight the first dragon.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
Kind of like that.
But like in good shape. Like just single tower spirals upward.
Not half broken down.
Right. Yeah. No huge chunks missing. That kind of thing.
I forgot you fight a dragon because I have the mod where it turns it into Thomas the Tank Engine.
I thought you were going to say My Little Pony, so 6 in 1. I mean,
No! It's Thomas the Tank Engine.
Because Skyrim mods.
And I also have the mod where every time the combat music starts, it starts playing the Danger Zone.
Oh, no. All right, so you guys arrive at the tower, and an older-looking gentleman steps out, looks rather confused because he wasn't expecting guests. Oh. John.
Hi, Radin.
Hello.
These are my coworkers. We have a job for you.
I'm only ever calling you coworkers and not a party anymore.
I'm sorry. I
No,
couldn't
that's
remember.
perfect.
I felt weird calling it. This is my party,
No, coworkers is way better.
and I'll cry if I want to.
Yes. We now have an episode title. These are my coworkers. All right, so he looks the 6 of you over. Oh, most interesting. What can I do for you?
Who has the plans again?
I guess I've got them. I'll hand them over.
We've got this air elemental problem, and
Not us specifically.
South, yeah.
Well,
all right.
she's here.
Fatten is gonna have a moment of panic and whisper loudly, how are we going to pay for this?
Favors. I'll owe you 3 favors.
It's on spec.
Yeah, there you go. Not necessary, but he looks the plans over. That. Okay, so he circles 3 things, goes inside, writes them down on a piece of paper, and brings them back out to you. I can do. Ooh, this is interesting. Is this Bastion's work?
Hey.
Most interesting. How's the bird?
He's impatient, he seemed like.
Not unusual. Okay, so this I can do. I need 3 things.
Oh, there's our 3 favors.
So he hands you a note, and instead of having 3 things written on it, it just says the words flail snail.
Oh.
Flail snail?
Flail snail. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonthehillgaming.com, email us at cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonthehillgame. For more information on saving the game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day.
A howling evening wind picked up fallen snow and whipped it past the two men walking quietly towards the Kelst River. One was not yet out of his 20s, but he walked with his shoulders bent and his head bowed as if he carried some ponderous invisible burden. The other was older, his beard and hair long since turned silver, but his gait was the easy stride of a man with nothing left to prove or fear. Both were dressed in the garb of the Lantern Knight Order to which they belonged, a padded undergarment, chain armor, and a thick brown tunic and trousers. The older knight also wore a dark blue tabard with the Order's simple lantern crest and a hooded fur-lined cloak. Neither was wearing a weapon, but the older man carried an unlit lantern, a bundle which contained another tabard matching the one he wore, and a newly forged sword in a scabbard. That enough, or do you want me to keep going?
You're good. You're good. That was excellent. What is that?
That is the start of Crossing the River, the first short story that I ever got published.
Oh, nice. Very
If
cool.
you want to read the rest of it, it's on the STG website.
Noted. Benjamin.
Cotton swabs made with 100% pure cotton. Firm stick gives gently under pressure. Cotton secured strongly to the stick. Ideal for makeup fixes, applications, touching up nail polish, crafts, cleaning electronics, and delicate baby care.
Perfect.
Nothing about scrubbing out the inside of your eardrum?
Do not enter ear canal.
Perfect. Daniel.
Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey, and the rest of these gentlemen, having asked me to write down the whole particulars about Treasure Island from the beginning to the end, keeping nothing back but the bearings of the island, and that only because there is still treasure not yet lifted.
Very nice. Grant.
Self-similar or self-affine sets in higher dimensions are models of strange attractors and their basins of attraction, of porous materials, dendritic crystal growth, and quasi-crystals, of mountainscapes, Brownian motion, and related stochastic processes that describe an assortment of catastrophes, plus a few happier happenings. Some of these practical fractals will be visited in Chapter 10. Here we examine some of their foundations and design a digital sundial based off a Cantor set.
I definitely knew at least a couple words you just said.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone.
I know what a fractal is.
I was like, that was definitely English, but
Yeah, it was. I'm fairly certain. Or
So
Latin,
you
one or
started
the other.
talking about Brownian motion, and then I thought you were reading the passage from Hitchhiker's Guide about.
No, reading the start of a random chapter from Manfred Schroeder's Fractals, Chaos, Power Laws.
Oh. I thought for a second it was brownies like fairy woodland creature. But then
No,
there was
no,
something
no, no.
about math, and I got very confused. Okay.
Oh no, there's quite a lot of math. It is basically a hey, what you want to do math for fun kind of book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Let-
Brownian motion is how you tell the difference between a solution and another thing, that suspension. Basically the difference between whether something is dissociated when it's dissolved and whether it's tiny particulate matter. It's the reason why tea looks cloudy and salt water looks clear.
I was actually expecting Daniel to make some kind of reference to baked goods there, but that works too. I didn't expect an actual explanation, but that was helpful.
no, Brownian motion is what happens when you cast awaken pastry on.
That's
a
what
brownie and it
that's what
runs
I was
out the door of
expecting.
the bakery.
There we go. William, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I got nothing to read, so
Okay,
that's
that's
left to do.
that's all right. That's just fine. Jenny,
I want to show off. I'll be right back.
I've been waiting for this. This was promised some time ago, and I
I appreciate the honesty.
I look
Jeff,
greatly
get the
forward to this.
costume.
What, Grant?
I said I appreciate the honesty there.
I was
Hang on.
pretty proud of digging up Robert Louis Stevenson, but
Oh
Oh, I
no,
got
no!
one
I've
better.
enjoyed everything so far. Jenny just has been hyping this for a while,
no.
This
it's
is not
okay.
the one I've been hyping even. I can't find the one I've been hyping.
and the mystery continues. Tune in next time
This is
solely to figure out what Jenny's going to read to us.
dang it.
The mystery,
Dang it.
the mystery continues.
It's the only thing that's kept me coming back, honestly.
I mean, look, I'm not mad at that. It's
Okay.
I really want to know. So.
I mean, now it's just gonna be like a Sam and Diane moment, and then we'll just have to wrap up sound checks forever.
Oh, there's an
Diane.
age joke right there.
Yeah, but that
Okay,
means at some point
so
we have to
there's this
replace
TV
Ginny, and I
show
don't want to
called
do that.
Cheers. Eh,
My head scratching gif has another head scratching gif scratching its head.
That was a reference to Cheers.
Yeah.
yeah,
I got that far.
Yeah, that's because the two characters, Sam and Diane, was all will they or won't they, and then they did, and then they had to end the show because
I'm ready. Okay.
Lay down that fat track for us, Ginny.
Men may lure all games that sail into St. James, for many a man hit Gramus when they begin to sail. For when they have take the sea, at Sandwich or at Winchelsea, at Bristow, or where that it be, their hearts begin to fail. Anon master commandeth fast to his shipmen all the houst, to dress him son about the mast, their tackling to make. With ho huzzah then they cry, what how mate thou standest to nigh, that thy fellow may not hail the by, thus they begin to crack.